This is K1DBC. All stations please stand by. The Denver Radio Club Learning Net starts in 5 minutes. This is K1DBC. The DRC Learning Net will start in 1 minute. All stations please stand by while the repeaters are placed into net mode.
PL off.
Good evening and welcome back to the Denver Radio Club Learning Net for December 14th, 2022. It's a great place to learn about ham, radio, and STEM topics in general. Thankfully, we have plenty of combined experience and expertise. This is Kilo 1 Delta Bravo Charlie, and my name is Daron, Delta Oscar Romeo Oscar November. I will be your net control for this evening. We meet every Wednesday, except for the third Wednesday of the month at 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time on 145.490 and 448.625. You can contact us at Elmer at w0tx.org, most social media at Denver Radio Club. We also stream and archive our nets on youtube.com/Denver Radio Club. So if you'd like to see behind the scenes of the net or visual context, that is an additional way to participate in the net. This is K1DBC Net Control. We do also take check-ins online, w0tx.org/check-in if you'd like to do that. We'll get you checked in online. If you're not a ham radio operator or you're not in the area or whatever it may be, you can always check in online if you want. With that said, we had N0TOA Jim checking in. Appreciate that. This net can be broken at any time for emergency or priority traffic by using the word break. Is there currently any emergency or priority traffic at this time? All other check-ins to the net will be taken in alphabetical groups based on the first letter of the suffix of the operator's call sign. The suffix is the first letter after the number in the call sign. If you can, please try to use ITU phonetics for the call sign and indicate if you have any traffic or questions as you check in. If your suffix begins with the letters A through M, Alpha through Mike, please check in now.
Good evening, Duran. This is Tom, K6HJV, Kilo 6 Hotel, Juliet Victor. I do have traffic.
Kilo Foxtrot 0, Foxtrot Papa India, Ron in Lakewood, no traffic.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Guessing during this holiday season, hopefully everyone is doing well, by the way, and hopefully the holidays are treating them well. So we might see a little bit of a lighter net, but that might just be expected. But with that, we had K6HJV Tom with traffic and KF0 FPI Ron checking in. Once more, we'll take call signs A through M, Alpha through Mike. Please check in now.
Kilo Sierra 0 Echo, KS0E, Alex in Denver.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. That time we had KS0E. Alex, thank you so much for checking in. We'll go up the whole alphabet. If you'd like to check into the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net, great place to learn about ham radio, STEM topics, lots of things revolving around ham radio and the world around us. So if you'd like to check in, we're taking all call signs, all call suffixes. Please check in now with your call sign, your name, and let us know if you have any traffic or questions. Please call now.
Kilo Echo 0, Sierra Uniform Mike, checking in. Good to hear you tonight, Jerome. No topics at the moment.
Kilo Bravo 3, Victor Charlie Uniform, Robin Thornton. Alpha Echo Zero Sierra Foxtrot Steve in Denver, no traffic.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Hold up there for just a moment. That time we had KE0 s.t.e.m Jonathan, KB3 VCU Rob, and I think a call sign change for Steve, AE0 SF. Good to hear all of you in there, and yeah, good to hear all of you in there. Or maybe it's been a while and I can't remember at this point. So yeah, good to hear everyone on the air. Again, we'll take all calls signs, all call suffixes. If you'd like to check into the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net, just for the count, or if you have any traffic or questions, please call now.
I'm sure you already have me, but Kilo Echo Zero Sierra Uniform Mike Jonathan in Lakewood.
This is K1DBC. Sorry, I may have missed a couple there. So yeah, KE0 s.t.e.m Jonathan, got you in there. KB3 VCU Rob and AE0 SF, got you all three checked in there. Okay, might be a little bit of a quieter net, but that's always okay. Especially during this holiday time. Hopefully everyone's taking care of themselves and is doing all right, and maybe getting some treats from yourself or significant others or whatever it may be. And yeah, lot of cool tech out there, a lot of gadgets. So I guess at the moment, not hearing too much more at the moment, I'll throw it over to Tom, K6HJV with traffic. The net is yours. Go right ahead.
Good evening, Duran. This is Tom, Kilo 6 Hotel, Juliet Victor. This is by way of information. I received an email today that I thought was from Jim Beal, K0TOR. He's net control on the Sunday night net. Well, it turns out somebody hacked his email, and so several people have been getting email. They think it's from Jim. It's not. So I just wanted to pass that on to any of the people that know Jim, that if you get an email from him, most likely it's bogus. Other than that, Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas. Back to you, Duran, K0DVC, K6HJV.
Perfect. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, K6HJV, Tom. I have received a message myself from Jim, and considering I don't receive too many emails from him, yeah, it seemed a little bit suspicious. And yep. Yeah, it didn't come from an official club email, but our official club emails were really trying to lock down and make sure that things like this can't happen. But yeah, just two-factor authentication. Make sure you have secure passwords, and we live in a much different day and age now, where it's a lot easier for people to get into your accounts if you're not careful enough. So yeah, cybersecurity, that's definitely a huge thing. So yeah, appreciate the follow up on that. Yeah, happy holidays to everyone, whatever denomination or non-denomination it may be. So yeah, don't let security or don't let convenience trump security. So be secure with all your online accounts and whatnot. Otherwise, you might be seeing some issues. So yeah, appreciate that. I guess this is Jerome K1 DVC. I can very quickly just talk about just two things that might have prevented something like that. A more secure password, using a password that has basically is quite long. It's they say nowadays to make a passphrase, if you will, instead of a password. So just make a nice long 15 character. You got to make it random nowadays with all the different characters, numbers, letters, anything that you add, any more things that you add, it makes it a lot more difficult for people to hack. Much more of a needle in a haystack kind of a thing. And if you're not signed up for two-factor authentication in some of the applications that you use, you can get a text message or an email, and it'll just be an additional way that you need to use to be able to log in to something. So, that's a interesting thing. But yeah, pretty always good to have. So this is K1DBC Net Control. I don't see anyone else that had indicated they had traffic. If there's anyone else like to check in, or if there's any other traffic or questions, I'm sure I can bring up a couple things, but I'll throw it out to the group. Any other further comments, questions, check-ins, anything else so far for this evening's net, please call now. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Next week, just to cover some club business, is our upcoming holiday party. You can no longer, unfortunately, sign up for that if you haven't already. So we've gotten a pretty good amount of people signing up, and we'll have a nice, hopefully nice casual fellowship and get-together event. A pretty cool talk here by Dr. Ebru Bozdag. It's our holiday party takes place on December 21st, so that is next Wednesday. So there won't be a net next Wednesday. I will try to live stream the dinner, kind of the party and the meeting. So no guarantees, but if you check into our YouTube, or if I get it working, I might also update our website, W0TX. So yeah, hopefully we'll see as many as we can out there, and if not in spirit, but it'll be just a nice event for the holiday time, and nice thing to just finish off the round off the year. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Plenty of information, I'm sure, that I can bring up here. Always good information over on the ARRL website, /news. As you know, there's probably a lot of Santa on the air kind of events, and there's a lot of opportunities to be the Santa, if you will. So, check things out. There's a lot of HF operations there, so arl.org/news. A lot of cool opportunities to get a lot of youth more involved in ham radio. It's an interesting opportunity, and love to have more people involved in what you can. Another interesting thing you can try out for the holiday season is a nice little soldering project, if you will. I'm showing on screen is like a little Christmas tree. You can get a menorah and or whatever it may be, but just a nice little introduction maybe for yourself or for your kids or youth or family to try to get into. So comes with a few parts and pieces, and those of us that have tried it, through hole soldering is not actually that difficult. So a lot of people can do it. You got to just kind of try it out. So nice little family holiday time project maybe. So just look online for a Christmas tree soldering kit or a menorah soldering kit, and just a nice little fun thing either for yourself or your family. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. You may have seen a video about this recently put out by, I think, TechMoan, but this is the Tiny SA, Tiny Spectrum Analyzer. If you've used any of the nano VNAs, it's a similar form factor, but what this is, it's a spectrum analyzer capable of operating between 0.1 and 800 megahertz or 1 megahertz and 6 gigahertz. It's a tool that allows users to visualize signals on the radio spectrum, and you can get this all for a cost of $120. So not a bad little toy to maybe have in your toolkit there. So let's see here, a little bit more information if I can get here. Tech Minds was the YouTube channel that I was meaning to say. So if you check out Tech Minds, he does a review of the Tiny SA spectrum analyzer and gives a good teardown and review and usage of it and how we would use it for ham radio and making sure that it kind of visualizes the spurious emissions that some of the cheaper equipment that we use may do and kind of shows that. Some of the more expensive equipment doesn't have that bleed off, if you will. So, pretty cool. Another tool to have in your toolkit, Tiny SA. Really cool product here. Touchscreen, 2.8 inch. So if you've used a Nano VNA, very similar kind of form factor, and yeah, really cool stuff here. Let's see. So yeah, the YouTuber here, Tech Minds, just uses it to. It can be used as a spectrum analyzer and a signal generator. So he uses it. He transmits on his He connects it to his handheld, a few HTs, and transmits. And it can be hooked up to a PC, very similar to the Nano VNA. So he can see where the 2 meter transmission is at and how much spurious emissions there are. So. Yeah, just another really cool tool in the toolkit here. So $120, Tiny SA.
Until we hear something.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. We have plenty of time still here in the net. I'll throw it out. Is there any other comments, questions, check-ins so far for this evening's net? We have plenty of time, so please let us know. Let's see, a little bit ways out, but as we've talked in the past, question pools for the ham tests do change once in a while. So July 1st, 2023, the new general question pool will be released. They'll probably be, they have the numbers right here. 432 questions were modified slightly to improve wording and to replace distractors. 51 new questions were generated and 73 questions were eliminated, resulted in reduction of 22 questions, bringing the total number of questions in the pool down to 454. They state that the level of difficulty of questions is more balanced and the techniques and practices addressed have been updated. So the pool is available now online. So just know if you're studying for it now or whatever it may be, and it prolongs past the date that it changes, just know that it probably won't be too much of a factor, considering the amount of questions there are in the pool and the ones that you get are quite small. So, but yeah, this is still some quite ways out. July 1st, 2023. We'll look forward to a change in the general question pool for ham radio. This is K1DBC Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net. I'll throw it out to the group. Any other comments, questions, anything else so far for this evening's Learning Net? Please call now.
Alpha Echo 0 Sierra Foxtrot.
Yeah, AE0SF. Steve, go right ahead.
Well, I just thought I'd mention right after I got my amateur extra, I decided to become a volunteer examiner. So I just did my minutes to the first exam on Saturday down at the ham radio outlet. So we had three new technician licenses that day. I think someone mentioned it on the Sunday night net also.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, great to hear that, A0SF. Yeah, the VE test itself to become a VE is open book and online. So if you're general or extra, I would encourage, if you want to get involved with that, just do that, because you can kind of do it on your own and your own pace. So yeah, that's awesome to hear. And yeah, glad to hear we have more people passing tests there. So yeah, that's awesome to hear. This is K1DBC Net Control. We recently got also a new VE examiner, K0RAP. He's getting up to speed here, but I believe he's Robert. He's been involved with VE testing and some other clubs as well. So we are currently in the process of finishing up our getting set up on ham study, so that in the future we can schedule and proctor exams via that link. I maybe removed it because we're not using it. But hamstudy.org. I'm hoping we can use our club's call sign. That's kind of where we're at it, trying to confirm, validate some things. But hopefully very soon in the future, we'll be able to start to use that. So yeah, very cool to hear that, Steve. Yeah, I encourage anyone else, if you want to get out there, it's a fairly simple process to get licensed for it, and to actually do it is not that difficult either. So yeah, great to hear on that. And yeah, just know, hamstudy.org, great place to study, to find sessions, to find exams. I think that may have been through the W0PCT group potentially. Or the Patriot VE team. That's what it is, the Patriot VE team. So, yep, you'll hear on our Sunday Night Nets mentioned once in a while about testing over at the ham radio outlet. So, yeah, very, very cool stuff. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Another club in the area, Rocky Mountain Ham Radio. They also have a YouTube channel, RM Ham, or Rocky Mountain Ham Radio. They do monthly meetings as well, and they had a recent meeting. Bob Witt, K0NAR, and these do take place at one of the Cherry Creek auxiliary buildings at Cherry Creek High School. K0NR presents test equipment for amateur radio. So this took place over this past weekend here on the 10th. So yeah, you can go ahead and check that out. I think he's talking about VNAs and some of the equipment maybe that we've kind of spoken about. So yeah, spectrum analyzers, vector network analyzers. Yep, he's talking about all sorts of stuff that we've kind of have talked about quite a lot. So yeah, go check that video out.
Assume the resistance or the impedance didn't change. So here's a little bit.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net. Yeah, during the holiday times, yeah, we see a little bit lighter nets here. Not an issue. We hope everyone is doing well. So this net might run a little bit shorter than normal here today, but there's still plenty of time. So if you're listening and you want to check in, or if you have any comments or questions, anything else, please let us know.
November 0, Tango Romeo Papa, Jim in Lakewood, late check-in. Kilo 0, Golf Papa Alpha, Bob in Lakewood, late check-in.
Wait, is that... All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. That time we had N0TRP Jim and K0GPA Bob checking in. Thank you both so much for checking in. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Anyone else who'd like to check in at the moment, or if anybody else has any other comments or questions, anything else, please call now. All right, I can cover some recent news, more or less. Some things that were brought up. This is going back a little bit earlier in the month here. DEF CON. If you're not aware of DEF CON, it is I forget at this point really what it is called, what that stands for. It is a black hat hacker conference. Essentially, a lot of really, really intelligent people that are into a lot of really, really cool things, whether it be RF, electrical engineering, computer science, a lot of different hardware, software, radio, really just come together and try to just talk about different aspects of the actual world we live in and cybersecurity and things like that. So the 30th RF talk took place this year. Topics to include biohacking, designing antennas, and training military ghost helicopters and more. So this is a lot of part of it's RF. It's definitely right up our alley, but it's a lot of stuff we may not really discuss. So one article here is biohacking using SDR, software-defined radio. So a security researcher and biohacker J9 presented an interesting and entertaining talk about how she used a software-defined radio to listen in and decode a wireless pH sensor pill she ingested as a part of a medical test. So that's pretty interesting. You know, nowadays there's biomedical and a lot of introduction with wireless into that. So they were able to kind of tap into the stream of that and kind of get a better understanding of their biochemistry. So pretty cool there. Another talk here was by Erwin have a software-defined radio, design and make your own antennas. In this talk, they explain how to design and make custom PCB antennas using home-based or low-cost technologies. How to make a wire antenna, microstrip, antenna arrays, aperture antennas, reflectors, antennas. So really, really cool stuff here. Pretty cool topic here as well, presented by Andrew Logan, is tracking military ghost helicopters. He talks about ADSB, which we've talked about in the past, which is automatic distribute surveillance broadcast, automatic dependent surveillance broadcast. It's a next gen of how for flight awareness and how pilots can see and be seen. So combined with ATC communications, public announcements, and crowdsourced visual identification, they've helped track activity of military helicopters operating over the Washington, D.C. area. So, we as citizens have a lot of capabilities for doing citizen science nowadays. So, lot of cool stuff out there. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net. We have another 30 minutes or so until we would normally end. If anybody else has any other comments, questions, check-ins, anything else so far for this evening's net, please call now. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Let me see if I can bring up anything else here, but we might start to wrap things up here. Let's see. This is K1DBC Net Control. I'll throw it out to the group. Anything else? Any other comments, questions, check-ins? Please call now. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Obviously, you see some of the bigger news things here are dealing with NASA, space and NASA and Artemis. So NASA aces Artemis 1, but the journey has just begun. This is an article on hackaday.com written by Tom Nardi on December 12th. Goes on to say when NASA's Orion capsule splashed down in the Pacific Ocean yesterday afternoon, this was on the 12th, or the 11th, it marked the end of a journey that started decades ago. The origins of the Orion capsule can be tracked back to a Lockheed Martin proposal from the early 2000s and development of the towering Space Launch System rocket that sent it on its historic trip around the moon, started back in 2011. Although few at the time could have imagined that's what it would end up being used for. The intended mission for the incredibly powerful shuttle-derived rocket changed so many times over the years that for a time it was referred to as the rocket to nowhere. As it appeared, the agency couldn't decide just where they wanted to send their flagship exploration vehicle. One more paragraph here, but today, the 11th December, they, perhaps for the first time, the future of the Space Launch System, SLS, and Orion seem bright. The Artemis 1 mission wasn't just a technical success by about pretty much every metric you'd care to use. It was also a public relations boon, the likes of which NASA has rarely seen outside the dramatic landings of their Mars rovers. Tens of millions of people watched the unmanned mission blast off towards the moon and prelude to the global excitement that will surround the crewed follow-up flight currently scheduled for 2024. This is a really great read. If you have any interest in what's going on here, there is a lot of deep diving into this. So hackaday.com, NASA aces Artemis 1, but the journey has just begun. All right. Yep. Great blog to read of the Denver Radio Club parish, if you will, the hackaday.com blog. A lot of cool and interesting articles, a lot of stuff RF related, a lot of cool stuff. So check that out. Another great site to read, RTL-SDR, Romeo Tango Lima Sierra Delta Romeo.com. That's a very specific software-defined radio website. So if you have any interest in software-defined radio, I would check that site out.
W0TX repeater.
All right. I'll see if I can bring up any other tidbits here. But we may start to potentially wrap things up. Hopefully everyone is doing well. Again, this is a great time to start playing around with your equipment. If you have a little bit of downtime, maybe try some different things. Exploration and experimentation. Experimentation is a big part of this hobby. So, try some new things this season. And what else here? Let's see, this is another article on hackaday.com from November 15th, written by Dan Maloney, getting to the heart of a Baofeng. We often talk about these radios and how they're kind of a shining example, or what they say right here, the radio is a shining example of value engineering, with just enough parts to do its job while staying on the edge of the FCC rules. So at about $25 a pop, the radios are cheap enough that experimentation is practically a requirement of ownership. How things all just come together here. So we were talking last week about good introduction radios and how we may poo-poo on the Baofengs, but everyone has one because for $25 or so, you can't really beat that. So this is work contributed to HB9BLA. Quite an interesting call sign there. Let's see where they are from here. Andreas Spies. That's the Swiss guy. Okay. You may have seen him on his YouTube channel. Pretty recognizable there. He stripped down the Baofeng and shows that Yeah, so this would be a video on his channel, I'm guessing. Yep. For about $8, you can get so the heart of the RF module is a SA818. You can get one of these off of AliExpress. It's an SDR transceiver, a power amplifier, and glue logic to make it all work. So in the video, Andreas puts the SA18 module through paces while the help of a board that pairs the module with a few accessories. So yeah, taking things apart, understanding the actual chips inside of it, and being able to essentially kind of replicate a Baofeng with DIY equipment, essentially. So pretty cool stuff here. So yeah, don't there's a lot of engineering in everything that we use, obviously. So we may think of these $25 radios as issues or whatnot, but again, a shining example of value engineering with just enough parts to do its job while staying just under the edge of the FCC rules. So that is, I would guess, capitalism at play there. So very cool stuff here. So yeah, Andreas s.t.e.m, call sign. I didn't realize his call sign, HB9BLA. You can check out his YouTube channel. I guess he's changed it from his name, it used to be, but now it is his call sign. So HB9BLA. After looking at it for 3 seconds, I can see he has 2 different channels. I didn't realize that at all. So he has his own channel under his own name, Andreas s.t.e.m, and then he has a separate channel for his ham radio. Or that may not actually be... No, that is him. So, yeah, he has a couple different channels here, so I did not realize that. So, yeah, really cool stuff here. Okay, this is Jerome K1DBC Net Control. I'm sure I could talk till I'm blue in the face, but anyone else? Any other comments, questions, check-ins, anything else you'd like to bring up so far for this evening's net? We'll probably go on for another 5-10 minutes if I don't hear too much else. I'll try to bring up a couple more things, but if you have anything you want to bring up that we've talked about previously, any projects you're working on, any follow-up on what you've asked about or anything like that, let us know. We're taking all call signs, all call suffixes, all check-ins, all questions, comments. Please call now.
WD0CIV, WD0CIV, Charles in Denver, no traffic, just a check-in.
This is K1DBC Net Control. I'd like to welcome and acknowledge the following check-in. WD0CIV, Charles. Thank you so much for checking in. This is K1DBC Net Control. We may have spoken about this potentially on this net. If you've heard of the website archive.org or Wayback Machine, it's a archive.org has been on the internet for 20 plus years now, and they've been trying to archive content that's not on the internet. I guess is what it comes down to. So recently they've gotten a grant from the Amateur Radio Digital Communications Private Foundation to create a private digital library that documents, preserves, and provides open source access to the history of now amateur radio. So our club, W0TX, is currently in the process of hopefully gathering up all of the documentation that we have. Again, our club dates back to 1916, I believe. If you go to w0tx.org/history. I wish this were quicker. 1917. Unfortunately, though, in 1965, a flood took a lot of our pre-World War II, pre-World War II history, unfortunately, was lost. But we have a lot, and unfortunately, it's just not published quite well. So 6-12 months, look forward to basically being able to see a lot more of the documentation about our club and a lot more history. So w0tx.org/history, pretty good place to check out. You can also see our round table, often has some tidbits in there. But eventually we should start to see things on archive.org for our club. So pretty cool effort there, and really hope to see some the fruitions come from that. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. What else here? Little bit out of about a month late, but Hackaday.com. Again, Hackaday.com. They had a get-together, SuperCon 2022. This happened November 4th, but they sent out a high-altitude balloon using WSPR, WSPR, Weak Signal Propagation Reporter is how they've used to track it. The title here is the balloon W6MRR-26 continues its world tour. Article by Joseph Long. Martin Rothfield and other amateur radio operators from San Francisco's High Altitude Ballooning, SFHAB, treated their conference attendees to the launch of 2 high-altitude balloons. On the morning of November 6th, the 2 balloons were launched from a park across the street from Design Lab, supply from Design Lab in Pasadena, California. 7 days after its launch from Southern California, one of the balloons was over Tajikistan, cruising eastward at an altitude of 42,000 feet. The balloon was already approaching China, where it will continue its wonderful world tour to parts unknown. The second balloon, call sign W3HAC-11, landed in northern Arizona, where it has continued transmitting whenever it receives power from the sun. So each balloon carries a tiny payload, a PCB, powered only by small photovoltaic cells. The board includes a microcontroller, GPS module, and a WSPR radio transmitter. Transmitter operates on the 20 meter amateur radio band at around 14 megahertz. WSPR beacons can provide time, altitude, location information. WSPR telemetry is then relayed via WSPR gates, similar to iGates and things like that, via APRS, and then put onto the internet. So it can be viewed on APRS.5, for example. So, really, really cool stuff here. Just another great indication that the hacker community and amateur radio community are very tightly close and interlinked. Don't forget to get involved with some of the Denver hacker spaces, essentially, Denver maker spaces, because they are definitely they'll have a lot in common. So DenHack, for example, there's hackerspaces.org, and you can see some of the hacker spaces. But definitely get involved with the local maker scene, because they are definitely quite involved with and would be very interested in what we're doing. So a lot of stuff we're talking about here. I'll throw it out to the group Any other comments, questions, check-ins, anything else so far for this evening's net? Please call now. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net. That's pretty much all that I got. I can probably bring up a couple things here or there if needed, but, holiday times, we should be relaxing, enjoying ourselves, so we might end up shutting this down a little bit early here. I guess just as a reminder, we are looking for help to run this net. There's a potential gap on the fourth Wednesday of the month. If you have an interest to run this net, I won't be able to run it on the fourth Wednesdays due to checking in to being on the board member meetings. So if we don't hear from Amity, this we may have just for the holiday season and just may call it have a quiet 28th. So fourth Wednesday of this month, we may not have a meeting unless I hear otherwise. But w0tx.org/volunteer. Tons of stuff, tons of opportunities, tons of ways to get involved. If you do want to be a net control operator, there is a sign-up sheet on here, net control, and you can just click on sign up. It'll send you a reminder email, yeah, it'll be happy to have you on there. So I'm happy to help out as much as I can. There is links on our website, right on that volunteer page for the net scripts and check-ins and things like that. So plenty of opportunities to get involved with our club. We're always looking for more help. If you're looking to help, we have happy to take it. So MCOM coordinators, program coordinators, roundtable editors, Elmers, graphic designs, tower climbers. There's a lot of opportunities. So w0tx.org/volunteer. Let us know because there's a lot of opportunities here. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Yeah, as always, check out our website. Again, monthly meeting coming up next week. It is going to be in person, one of our first in-person meetings that we've had for quite a while now, as mentioned earlier on here in the net, December 21st. Unfortunately, if you haven't paid in advance already, you're not able to at this point. Reservations must have been made by the 12th. So, but we'll have a great presentation, Journey to the Center of the Earth and Mars, Seismology with Big and Small Data, presented by Dr. Ebru Bozdog. Hopefully I'm not butchering that too much here. Pretty cool talk about exploring the Earth's mantle and core, primarily based on 3D numerical wave simulations in full wave form inversion. It might be a little bit of a heady talk, but, we can learn things every day. So let's see what else. We have our videos from our recent meetings. Recent one was Jason Olham building a Pi KM4ACK. We have a recent for sale and wanted, so you can go and self-service, if you will. You can go and create your own ad and edit it, and you'll get expiration emails and things like that. So some recent ads here. So check things out. There's a lot of cool stuff on there. Roundtable is always being updated. If you haven't looked at the Roundtable page in a while, the PDFs have been up, or our featured articles now include links to the articles and directly to the article. So if you wanted to come in here and look at something, right on this first page, it says, it's the Radials Demystified Part 1 by W60AV. This is going back to April 2008. It will take you directly to the page that's on in that PDF. So, ever changing on our website. We're trying to make things a little bit better here and there. So if you ever have any questions or comments, don't ever hesitate to get in contact. Website admin at w0tx.org. that's probably enough for the moment. But yeah, I'll throw it out. This will be the second to last call. Any other last-minute comments, questions, check-ins? Second to last call for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net. Please call now. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Yeah, I'm not hearing too much at the moment. Yeah, appreciate being back on here. I know there's been a little bit of some changes here and there, but everyone is welcome to always participate in this net, no matter what. If I'm not here, anyone who wants to take the net is always happy to take the net. So just know that there's no hard feelings from my end if you kind of know that situation here, but essentially, yep, it's good to be back, and I'm happy to be here. And yep, this hobby, there's always a demographic gap, and it takes a little bit of give and take here and there. So it's always going to take a little bit of time for our website maybe to become accessible for everybody and things like that. So things change, but hopefully for the better. But always let us know, contact us, let us know what you're wanting, because that's ultimately why we are here. So we are here to serve you as our members and potential members and ham radio operators. So let us know how we can best serve you all. So I guess happy holidays to everyone. I'll put a last call out there. This will be the final call. Anyone else for this evening's Learning Net? This is K1DBC, Daron, Net Control. Any other final comments, questions, check-ins, please call now.
W0TX repeater.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. One last thing, if you are going to be at our holiday meeting, we're going to have a little video, just a slideshow presentation of kind of just a year in review from the Denver Radio Club, and then eventually we'll have it on our YouTube page. So look forward to that. We look forward to seeing everyone that can be there, that can attend there. If not, we hope you have all good holidays. Yeah, it's been a great year, and we hope to have another great year next year. So, what else? That's all I really do have. Again, thanks for everyone's support to the club, to each other, over the years. It's really appreciative. We are a family, and it's great to be a part of this group. So. Not hearing much else. Yeah, again, this is K1DBC Net Control. So great to be back. So great to hear everyone's voices. Hopefully we can see each other coming up at the meeting here. Get in contact with us, Elmer at w0tx.org if you like, via email. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, groups.io, most of it Denver Radio Club. So let us know what you want and leave comments, and yeah, we'll go from there. So we had a total of 11 check-ins, or 10 check-ins, or 11 check-ins, excuse me. Appreciate everyone checking in. Appreciate our Elmers. Appreciate everyone who can provide any advice. Thanks to the Denver Radio Club for allowing us to use their repeaters. Again, join us on the third Wednesday of the month at 6 p.m. for an Elmers session prior to the regularly scheduled Denver Radio Club meeting at 7 p.m. Again, this is going to be in person this month. I'm going to try to have it online, but no guarantees. So, yeah, all information on our website, w0tx.org. Everyone is welcome, licensed or not, member or not, everyone. So, with that, all stations, please stand by while the repeaters are placed into normal mode.
L on.
All right, thanks again. This is K1DBC, Daron, Net Control, 7-3 to all. Great again to hear everyone's voice, and I hope everyone's doing well, and we'll talk to you all soon. 7-3, I am clear.
Nice job, Daron, K6HJV.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining me back on here. I'll play a song or two to round it out and a nice holiday feeling, but appreciate everyone, and we'll go from there. Let's see here. Streamer's best friend, epidemic music. Let's see here. All right, thanks everyone. You all have a good evening, good holidays, and we'll talk soon.